Welcome to day 2 of the Coaching Leader Shift. I hope you had a chance to practice the shifts that we talked about yesterday. Today we're moving on to understanding what's really driving behaviour. So let's go. Most leaders think they're responding to behaviour, but they're actually not. They're reacting to what they can see. And what they can see is rarely the full story. Think about someone in your team right now. Someone who frustrates you, who drives you mad. They might over-deliver and get lost in the detail. They might be saying yes to everything and then struggling to deliver. They might push back, challenge, or shut things down. Or they might even withdraw, go quiet, and disengage. And it's really easy to label it. They're in the weeds, they're difficult, they're unreliable, they're not confident. But these labels don't help you to lead. Because behaviour is not the problem. Behaviour is actually a signal. So what's actually going on? Underneath the behaviour, people are protecting something. Their value, their identity, how they are seen. And they do it through what I call pretender masks. Now, pretender masks show up and there are 4 of them. And once you can see them, you can't unsee them. So let's talk about the 4. First up, we've got the perfectionist. They absolutely must get it right. And they expect everyone else to do that too. They love praise. And the perfectionist is driven by, if I get this wrong, what does that say about me? Perfectionist pretenders must protect their reputation at all costs. And so they overwork, they over-prepare, they really struggle to let go, and they love to stay in control. It looks like high standards, but underneath is protection. Let's look at the people pleaser. They need to be liked. They need approval, especially from hierarchy. They're driven by, if I let people down, I might lose connection. And so people pleasers say yes when they mean no. They avoid difficult conversations. They overcommit and they carry more than they should. It looks like support, but underneath it's fear of disconnection. Then we've got the persecutor of others. They need control and compliance. They're driven by, if people don't agree with me, I feel exposed. And so they challenge, they push, they criticize, and they demand more. It looks like high standards or even strength, but underneath, it's a need to stay in control. And then finally, the persecutor of self. They need to stay safe. They're driven by, if I don't put myself out there, I can't get it wrong. And so they hold back, they second guess, they delay, and they withdraw. It looks like low confidence, but underneath it's protection. So what's the shift? When you understand the pretender masks, everything changes. Because you stop reacting to behaviour and you start responding to what's driving it. Instead of, why are they doing this? You start asking, what are they protecting? So here's 3 practical ways to lead differently. First up, get curious before you label. Your brain wants to label quickly. They're difficult, they're defensive, they're not stepping up. But instead pause and ask yourself, what might be driving this? What could they be protecting? This doesn't excuse the behaviour, but it changes how you respond to it. The second one then is to ask about what matters, not just what's happening. If you stay at behaviour level, you'll stay stuck. So move underneath it. Instead of, why didn't you do this? Try, what feels important for you to get right here? Or, what's the pressure you're feeling around this? You'll get a very different answer. So the third one is about responding in a way that creates safety. If behaviour is protection, then pressure from you increases it. So instead of correcting quickly, challenging immediately, pushing harder, try slowing down, acknowledging the effort, and giving space to think. Because when people feel safe, they don't need to mask as much, and then you get their brilliance. The real truth here is that you don't need to remove the mask. You just need to help make it less necessary. And this is where leadership changes. Because when someone feels safe enough, they then start to take ownership. They think more clearly, and they show up differently because they've got more capacity. And it's not because you told them to, it's because they no longer need to protect themselves in the same way. Now, focus on taking care of you today. So notice this, and not just in your teams. Which mask shows up for you under pressure? Do you over-deliver? Do you keep the peace? Do you push for control, or do you hold back? Because the way you lead is shaped by what you're protecting too. Tomorrow, we're going to look at what happens to you under pressure. Because even when you know what to do, that's where most leaders lose it. So go away, look for those masks, download the pod sheet, and I'll see you tomorrow.